like science.
I like science.
I like science.
We didn't decide
you say
who's
something.
starting this.
You
I
say
say something. I
something.
just said
You
something.
say, start.
Dear Mr. Maddox,
Commander.
oh, is he Commander? Commander,
Yes.
I forgot his rank.
Yes.
Dear
Commander Bruce
Commander
Maddox.
Maddox, you requested that I inform you of my daily activities as I learn to be co-host of Shield Modulation and develop my understanding of friendship and what it means to be human,
Well
which is not that far off.
done. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow, here we are. It's Shield Modulation. I am one part of your hosting complement, and that is DJ Evil Dave. And over there is Brandy.
Hello.
And
You're
as you
so
can
far
tell,
away.
yep, we're talking. I'm so far away.
No.
Yeah, you're on the Enterprise. I'm still on Earth.
Yeah. 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 I'm on the bridge of the Enterprise D, bitches.
Yeah, it's very well lit, and it's very large.
It's
It's like a
huge.
showroom. It's like you could hold a convention in on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Well,
It's like over
yeah.
there's the vendor tables, over there's Celebrity Row, right there's Artist's Alley,
Well, we've talked about
and
this
then
before, but we've
yeah,
been on the Enterprise before.
yep, there's some
It was
eateries over there.
many moons ago.
Yeah, it
Many,
was,
many
but I don't
moons.
remember it being that large.
It was pretty big.
Goes on forever.
I did
It's
I
like
did love that they transported us directly to the bridge. You
true.
know,
Yes, instead
that
of
was
onto
helpful.
the transporter bay and then walk us to or take us through a turbo lift.
Yeah. That would be too difficult. And they besides that, they were like, "Oh no, let's get you in a shuttle. We just go directly from here, get in a shuttle now."
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, so we are talking about as you probably know if you've been listening, uh t- oh sorry.
As she chokes on her words, we're watching season 4, episode 11 of
Yes.
Star Trek The Next Generation, Data's Day, which
Yes.
comes really late in the series to have this episode about Data and what it's like to be an android. And that's coming really late in the series, especially how they treat him and how he interacts with humans. I mean, he's been there for 4 years now.
Yeah. But
So it's
to
kind of odd because it feels almost like his first day.
to be fair, he's recently been through a trial as to whether he should
True.
remain autonomous and have his own thoughts.
Right.
So
But
instead of
that's
being
bureaucracy
shut
for you.
down and disassembled
Yeah.
and studied,
It
you know.
takes them 3 years to get around to it. It's like, oh yeah, there's an android on this vessel, and maybe we should study him and take him apart, find out how he works.
Yeah, that's not a great idea. That's a commissioned officer right there, regardless of whether they're a synthetic or whether they are flesh and blood. That's not
Well,
cool, man. Just
the
not cool.
Daystrom Institute has to Daystrom Institute. That's just what they do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've got a meowing kitty.
You do
What?
have a meowing kitty.
What? You want to come up? Come on. Come on.
He likes to be on your
Oh,
lap as you record. It's kind of odd.
yeah. Well, he just
Not
went
this
under
time?
the desk and then he's now standing by the door. What? You can get out if you want. What are you doing? Oh, there he is. There he is. I
Oh,
now have a kitty.
he's up on your lap now. Okay.
Yep, he's on my lap. You can't see him on the screen, Dave.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he must be hunkered down.
Well, he's standing on my lap.
Okay.
It's just my don't rub against the mic, you
He
nerd.
likes he does that to my phone.
Yeah,
If I have my phone in my hand and he's on me, he has to rub my phone.
yeah.
Boy, he's chatty.
He is chatty. So yeah,
He's
so
been
we
fed.
I know. He's got a bug up his butt about something.
Okay.
Once loves. You giving me bliss face. Bliss face.
There you
So
go.
yeah,
Speaking
Data's
of cats,
day.
we get to see Spot a little bit in this one.
Yeah, one of the spots because there's been like
Yeah.
6 dozen different cats playing Spot.
Was that Feline Supplement 47
Yeah,
that
I think
Data
so, if I
ordered?
remember right.
So
Did I write it down? Did I
I
write
don't know.
it
It must have been
down?
47 because that's the Star Trek number.
Yeah. I can't, I didn't write it down. So, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, this is basically sort of a journal that
Yeah.
he's recording for Bruce Maddox and is gonna send it to him. And
Bruce.
there's a lot of shit going on in this episode, man.
Yeah, there's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G plots in this one, but that's because we're just following data during a normal day's shift.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's what from the end of the night shift to the beginning of the day shift, I
Mhm.
think. Yeah, because he's the night shift captain too, because he doesn't really have to sleep.
Yep.
So he's like running full time, which seems like it might be dangerous. He should just rest occasionally, but I imagine he has downtime somewhere.
Yeah. Well, his idea of downtime is not a human's idea of downtime,
Right.
but that's okay. But yeah, the thing is that he's obviously not the only person that does the night shift.
Oh yeah.
Everybody takes their turn at that because we've seen Crusher do it.
Hmm.
Um, there are other officers who have been through their command training so that they can actually do the night watch sort of thing.
Yeah, it seems to be
Um,
a rotating shift,
yeah.
and I like that they turn the lights down low to simulate nighttime
Mm.
so that, your circadian rhythms stay, regulated, I suppose.
Yeah, it would
So
be
if
really hard to
somebody,
do on a starship.
yeah, if you get up in the middle of the night and you walk about and you're like, oh, realize that the lights are down. It's like, oh, it's nighttime.
Yeah. So let's see what we've got going on. We've got a wedding
We got a
that is
wedding.
supposed to happen, and Data is filling the position of father of the bride, which is Keiko. Now, Rosalind Chow, she had a hard job. And
The writers do her no favors.
no, they do not do her any favors, and she is a very good actor. So
Yeah, she's
it's really
really solid.
disappointing. So yeah, so Keiko is uh got cold feet. She's calling off the
Yep.
wedding.
She's like the ship's gardener. She seems to be in their arboretum or arboretum, whatever you want to call
Arboretum.
it.
Yeah, she does
And
like to
yeah,
garden. She does like plants and whatnot.
yeah, she seems to be setting up the plants, making sure they're healthy. Did the cat just get you?
Yeah, he just dug his back claws into my leg as he was jumping down.
Yeah, that
It's
makes sense.
it's something that happens frequently.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, she's going to call off the wedding, and he's trying to understand
Hmm.
why she is doing this. And she says, I'm not happy. And he's like, so calling the wedding off would make you happy. And she says, yes. And so Data, because he's Data, decides to go tell. And the thing that is she's being a coward and not telling Miles
Right.
herself. That's fucking wrong.
Well, they're both this way. They're using him as an intermediary instead of just talking to one another and setting things right.
Yeah.
And Data recently downloaded some kind of software program to help him relate to
Mm.
humans. And it's basically like an algorithm. And so he's doing the math. Is like, if you're unhappy and this would make you happy, then we're going to make you happy. And because O'Brien likes you, he wants you to be happy. And so by calling off the wedding, if that makes you happy, it'll make him happy too. I mean, that is the equation he works out in his positronic brain.
Well, it's logical.
Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't get it really, but he's like, okay, I'll go talk to O'Brien. And so he goes and talks to O'Brien, and he presents it as, you're going to be so happy about this.
Yeah,
And
I have some good news.
yes, and then Miles, of course, loses his mind, and Jordy's like bagging on Data, and I'm like, how long have you fucking known this guy?
Yep.
Do not be that way. Do not be that way. You know better, Mr. LaForge.
Well, uh, there's just a thing recently about data. Well, not even that recently, but it's like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Is there's autistic people that have related to
Mm-hmm.
Data because of the way he thinks and the way he interacts. Is it's very literal and
Yep.
logical, and he might not pick up on subtle cues or things like. I mean, he is picking up a little bit on sarcasm because he notices Riker saying something sarcastic because of the tone of his voice. So he's improving, he's developing and starting to learn through what, autistic people do is they will mirror
Mm-hmm.
the activities and facial features and do what is expected. It's called masking, which can be very exhausting. Because after masking a full day at work, you go home, you're just kind of tired and
Exhausted.
easily
Yeah.
burn out because you're just playing along and not really presenting your true self to people. You're just putting the mask on, and that's kind of what Data's going through here. But yeah,
Yep.
he's just not understanding the nuances of relationships and weddings and what people want and what they don't want, and that he's discussing this with the several members of the crew. But yeah, it's upsetting that Geordi doesn't realize this. He
Mm-hmm.
should.
He should. He absolutely should at this point in the series. We are
Especially
halfway through the
yeah,
series.
the one that has most knowledge of his internal systems. Because
Mm-hmm.
whenever Data has a problem, it's usually Geordi that is there with his little eyeglasses repair kit, inside the positronic brain, doing this and doing that. So yeah, just unplugging this, plugging that in, opening panels and that sort of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he knows what Data is and who Data is, but I guess every once in a while it slips and you forget that he's an android and you treat him as just any ordinary human, and you mistake, how his brain is wired.
Yeah.
I
Pretty
mean,
lame.
literally in this case.
Pretty lame, Jordy.
Yeah.
So this is supposedly an ordinary day. It's really not. Let's talk about T'Pel. We've got this ambassador named T'Pel who
Right.
is has come aboard the Enterprise and has a mission that she can only speak with Picard about, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't too long before I remembered who T'Pel really was.
Yeah, I had my suspicions immediately, and I don't remember ever seeing this episode.
Yeah,
I thought
I've seen
she's
it
a
multiple
Romulan.
times.
She's way too secretive to be a Vulcan.
Yeah, well, that not only that, like when she comes onto the bridge, she gives like the most half-assed Vulcan salute.
Yeah,
Like
it's
her
like a
hands aren't
mariner
even in the right
thing.
position.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, the sarcastic Vulcan salute was better than T'Pel's.
And she's dressed like a wizard mascot for a company that sells ice cream. She's wearing like a witch's cap.
Oh, it's so tall.
Yeah,
It's so tall. And then she takes it off at one point and she's got like this hood on
yeah.
that's that her just her ears are sticking out of and it covers everything but her face and her ears. And it's just weird.
It's like a skull cap.
Yeah, it's
Or
just
like
weird.
that movie about the wife that loses her head and her
Hmm.
husband keeps it alive. Or
Yeah.
was it his mistress? I forget if it was the wife or mistress.
Is the mistress
Yeah, but yeah, she's just
on a
on a
pan.
baking tray on a
Yep.
cooking sheet.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of that weird bandaging where you still see the ears and the face, but everything else is covered up.
Yep. Um, there's a scene with Geordi and Data at
Right.
Mr. Mott's. It's nice to see our Bolian friend again.
There's so much going on in the background in this episode.
So much.
If you have like ADHD or something, you could be so distracted from the main storyline. And Brandy just pointed at herself. Because there's so much to draw your attention away from what's taking place on the
Mhm.
foreground. Because back behind where Jordy's getting his haircut, even though he just had his haircut, but it wasn't good enough, and he's razzing on the barber. But behind them, there's this alien with this like beehive almost bouffant hairstyle that's changing color, like being dyed, but through some kind of electronic means. They're like
Mhm.
waving a wand over it
Yep.
and it's changing color. It's like, that is fascinating. How did they do that effect? Because this is, they had CG, but it wasn't that
I
sophisticated,
know.
especially to do hair.
Yeah.
Hair in the 90s is like, no, not yet.
Yeah. It was impressive. It was
Yeah.
an impressive effect. And yeah, I kept watching to see what color it was going to go next.
Yep. It's like, oh, do you
And
want red? Do you want blonde?
yeah.
Just
It's just
waving this
like
wand over it.
I think what they were doing was giving the choices. It's like, okay, you could do this, or you could do this color, or you could do
Hmm.
this color, and just basically instead of showing the colors on a palette, showing it on the hair so that you know what the final product's going to look like.
Right.
So
And
that's what I think, and I do appreciate that Mr. Mott does a Dr. McCoy and says, "I'm a barber, not a miracle worker."
right. Yeah, because yeah, trying to get Jordy to look handsome or whatever, and he responds with that, and Data's like, "Oh yeah, friends razz each other and they insult," and so he ends up calling Jordy a lunkhead.
Hmm.
And Jordy's like, "What?"
Yeah, he decides that he's going to try experimenting with friendly jibes and insults.
Yep. And so lunkhead is what he goes with. And it's like Jordy's like, "What are you even doing?"
Yeah. And I even wrote down so much weird stuff in the background for
Yeah, there's
this
a lot.
scene.
And this isn't the only scene where there's something going on
There is
behind
stuff
people.
going on all the goddamn time. The number of extras they had in this
Mhm.
episode it's more than your usual episode of TNG.
Yeah,
So, yeah. Anyway, Data is still going about his day as if the wedding is actually going to take place.
right.
And he realizes that he's going to have to do the dance with the quote unquote daughter,
Yep,
and he doesn't know how to dance. And then we get
yep.
this marvelous scene of Dr. Crusher teaching Data to dance.
Is this
Except
after Gates McFadden returned or before she left?
this is after she returned.
Okay, because it feels like this was a contractual thing. Is like, I want to do more if I'm going to be on this show. And they're like, well, what do you want to do? And she's like, well, I'm a dancer. Give me a dance scene.
Well, what she wanted to do was direct, and they wouldn't
Yeah,
let her.
right. So this is like the next best thing, I guess, is like,
Yeah.
I want to showcase my skills. So give
They
me a dance scene.
Yeah, they were basically like, no, no one from the cast. We're not going to have anyone from the cast direct. Oh, Frakes, you want to direct an episode?
Yeah,
Mm,
typical.
wah, wah, wah. Um,
Yeah.
so he doesn't tell her that this is for the father of the bride dance.
Yeah, he should be specific. Once again,
Yes.
it's like specificity
Well,
is the
yeah.
soul of narrative.
The thing is that he could have easily downloaded um records about dancing because there
Yeah,
are
I don't know
so
why he
many different
didn't.
styles of dance, but he
He
didn't
could
do
matrix
that.
this all the time.
Yeah.
It's like computer download uh wedding dances.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing though, is that it's really, I mean, it's the kind of dance that's really more improv than anything else.
Yeah,
It's not like a set routine, I guess is the right
and
word.
that's what Beverly tells him is like, well, first they have this wonderful tap dancing scene, and you get to showcase both their dancing bits. So I was trying to watch to see if Brent Spiner was replaced by a double, and I think maybe a couple of times, but for the most part, it looked like him.
Yeah, for the most difficult things, I'm pretty sure that was a double,
Yeah, when
but
they
for
went to the
most of it,
legs,
yeah,
especially, like just showcasing the legs is like
yeah.
the normal cheat
And then
of going down
when we
and
were
showing.
looking at him from top down, I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure that was also not Brent Spiner.
Right.
But he obviously has dance training. He obviously can actually tap
Yeah.
dance. So
And,
he's just
and then
not Beverly Crusher level.
the doctor having to tell him, Data, stop. Because
Yeah,
he'd just do things over and over again and get stuck in a loop, and she'd have to tell him to stop.
yeah,
So, yeah, so he tells her why he's learning to dance, that it's not just a curiosity thing, it's for a purpose. She's like, well, why didn't you say that in the first place? Because a wedding dance, a father of the bride dance is a whole other thing than tap
mm,
dancing. That's not going to work at most weddings. So, she teaches him the basic slow dance.
Yep.
Yeah.
But she also tells him to improvise.
Hmm.
And Data
And
is
to
not
lead. Yeah.
great at that.
Hmm.
Like he's still so rigid in his programming in some ways, but like she tells him to smile and
Hmm.
he's got this horrific smile on his face,
Yeah, it's a
like,
rictus grin.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna murder you sort of
Mm.
smile.
And
And
that, yeah.
yeah, and then Crusher gets called away, and so he she tells him just program another dance partner and keep practicing. And so he does, and he's dancing with this, hologram. And again, he's trying to do the improving thing, and he's turning, just slightly turning around, and you see that rictus grin.
Yeah. Also, he's watching Beverly's feet as she's
Yep.
teaching him, and she says, "Look up," and then he looks straight up. It's like, "No, look at me." And then he starts stepping on her toes and kicking her shins.
Hmm.
It's like, I have to watch your feet to learn. And so he watches until he gets the pattern down, and then they can
Yeah.
look at each other and then teach him how to lead, which is, to break up the pattern,
Yeah.
which he can do mathematically, just
Hmm.
randomize it. And that's, I guess, close enough to improvisation.
Yeah, as far as a digital brain can do, is
Yeah.
my guess. He gets, by the time we get to the end of Picard series, he's definitely a lot more human than anything else at that point.
Well, yeah, and well, also he's united with lore a bit, so
Yeah.
there's an integration there.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
and he pulls Beverly out of sick bay when they're dealing with a pregnancy. So that's another one of the subplots.
yeah. Well, there's someone who's going into labor. So
Yep.
um also Spot, we see Spot
Yep.
because Data goes back to his quarters and orders a feline supplement for the cat. And yeah, the things that I wrote down. He O'Brien asks Data to talk to Keiko again, and he goes to Counselor Troy. Is like, what? How am I supposed to do this? But what I really hate is how this scene starts with a fucking close up of her cleavage.
Yeah, she's pouring herself a drink because Data doesn't need one. And the camera hovers like a down blouse style, like some
Mm-hmm.
perv on the subway or
Yep.
something trying to get a sneaky picture,
Yeah, her
looking
head's not
straight
in
down
that.
her. Yeah, her head's not in it. It's looking directly at her cleavage from above,
Mm-hmm.
trying to look down her chest.
Gross.
And, they dress her that way anyway to showcase her cleavage with that open neckline.
It's the
And
only good
yeah,
thing Jellicoe did.
yeah, Jellicoe getting her in a
Starfleet
regulation
uniform.
uniform.
Yep.
Yeah, they sit and talk about the problems, and Troy has a good point. It's like there's times when you don't help. You let them handle things their own way. You don't
Mm-hmm.
interfere. You don't try to set things right. You don't become an intermediary for this couple. Let them work it out. It's their
Yeah.
problem.
Well,
You're not helping.
that's actually unfair to Data.
Hmm.
He's not, emotionally involved with either of these people, and he should not be the intermediary. He should not be the go-between because they are acting like children.
And it's because he's an android that they get him to do this because he's not emotionally involved. He's going to do it impartially. And so they each have him try to convince the other that this is the course of action using, I guess, logic.
Mm-hmm.
But, because he's not going to be emotionally involved, he's not going to press one case or the other. It's just what someone wants and to present it as such is like you will be happier unmarried, you would be happier married. It's that kind of binary
Yeah.
and in either case, and that maybe you rushed to judgment and canceled the wedding plans early, which is true. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what she does. And
Yeah.
yeah, and all this while with T'Pel,
Being
Data
sketchy as hell.
yeah, Data has been doing things on the side for Picard and T'Pel. He's been scanning the neutral zone for Romulan activity, looking for any changes in routine, and He keeps them informed. Of course, T'Pel, when she's in her skull cap, calls Data over without Picard knowing and asks him about the specifics of the deflector, I think she's asking
And
about,
weapons and
and
shields.
weapons. And she's like, I can give you that information, but I have the same defense mechanisms, the same firewalls up as the ship's computer. That I need specifics, I need authorization to give you that information. And if you want this information, I'm going to have to inform the captain. And that's when she says, I was just testing you.
Hmm. Sure, she was.
And you get this look on his face like he suspects something's up.
Which is
And
funny
yeah,
because then he spouts the line Vulcans are incapable of lying, which is not
not true.
true.
That's just something they say. And
Yeah.
also he references his enjoyment of Sherlock Holmes and how he
Hmm.
likes a mystery.
Yeah.
And so why all this is taking place, why they're going to the neutral zone, why T'Pel is being weird. It's like
Yeah.
all these things are working alongside of him dealing with this wedding, this thing on the side as he's trying to work out exactly what this is all about.
Well, they're getting to the point where they're proceeding into the neutral zone, and there
Hmm.
is one Romulan ship that is in the area supposedly waiting for them.
Yep.
And it's got a dude named Admiral Mendek on it. It's always interesting because in TNG, most of the time when you see a Romulan, they are extremely composed.
Right. This guy, he's
They
on
don't
edge.
raise their
Yeah.
voice, etc. And so she's supposed to transport over to his ship to begin negotiations. Yeah, right. And
And
there's
yeah.
a quote unquote transporter accident.
Mhm. Well, Jean-Luc even says before they transport that there are plenty of facilities on board where they can hold this meeting
Yep,
if necessary. But of course, the Romulans refuse. But yeah, as she's transporting, there's an instant they lose a track of her
pattern.
signal,
Yeah.
yeah, and they're left with a little bit of biological material after
Hmm.
she's gone. And it's weird. It's unlike any transporter accident ever reported, which is already suspicious. And
Yeah.
also that they had already run diagnostics. They already replaced the transporter coil just a week ago.
Hmm.
And so there's really no reason for this to happen.
No
And
reason at all.
therefore we have a mystery. And you see Geordi and Beverly basically sweeping up the remains of T'Pel into a dustpan.
Yeah, I forgot. Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh, that was funny. I swear now in my brain, it's literally a dustpan and one of those brushes that come with the dustpan.
It might as well have been.
Yeah,
It,
it's just
it's
always going to be
kind of
that
weird.
now.
Like if they had a phaser and they just changed the phaser to suck and just like a dustbuster, just, and just
Well, that's the funny thing is because their phasers on TNG do look like handheld dirt busters.
yeah, that's the greatest generation guys. They call them anytime they send down a landing party, they call them a Dustbuster Club
Hmm.
because they all go down with phasers.
Yep. Yes, indeed. So Data goes and does Data things with, and repeats the line, whatever it is impossible, okay. If whatever, I can't even remember how it's
Yeah,
said, but basically, if it's impossible, if you haven't found something possible, then uh whatever remains, however improbable,
right.
must be the truth.
Yeah, when you
So
eliminate the impossible,
thank you.
whatever
That's it.
remains, if it's plausible, must be the case.
Yeah. So that is something paraphrased that Sherlock Holmes did say. I am not a big fan of Sherlock Holmes because, like most mysteries at that time, there was always something really big held back that was
Hmm.
never given any clues about to the reader. And so, of course, it makes him look, so super smart. And I'm like, no,
And a lot of the
no.
details from which he arrived to a conclusion could be anything.
Hmm.
he makes it such a specific thing, like that there's a lot of scratches around the keyhole of their
Mm.
door, and therefore they must be a drunk. No, they just have bad depth perception.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
me.
that's all it requires. Or maybe they have poor eyesight. You know, they don't have to be a drunk to not have perfect precision when they're inserting their key into their doorknob.
Yeah. So, but yeah, long story short, Data does find that there was a second transporter signal that was coming from the Romulan ship.
Yeah, the Romulan transporter works very similar to the Enterprises or Starfleets, and therefore they didn't notice that it was an interfering transporter wave or whatever you want to call it, beam.
Yeah,
And so they had actually beamed T'Pel on board, which seems like an abduction.
yeah, it does. Uh, but it's they basically go charging back into the neutral zone
At
and
warp 8, I think.
at warp 8 to find this ship, and the ship is the Devorus. Yeah, and it won't respond to hails. And then another warbird is on the way, and so they finally get the guy on the comms, and he's explaining, you have kidnapped this ambassador and you are going to give her back now. She was supposed to be negotiating with you in good faith, etc., etc. And he's like, oh, no, no, that's not what happened. And of course, T'Pel, now back in her Romulan self, which her name is actually Selok. Uh, yeah, she pipes up and she's like, thank you so much for the ride.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna
like
go
she's a
now with all your
spy.
secrets.
Yep. Spy that became an ambassador and got all this information. Going to share it with the Romulans. Thank you so much. Bye.
Well,
Bye-bye now.
this is the thing that confuses me. Okay. Um, I know that in this particular future, in this universe, people can alter their appearance, etc. But can they alter their DNA to show as
Well,
Vulcan?
we know that Romulans and Vulcans are so similar that
Yes,
it's like there might not be that great of a distinction
that there is a
genetically
distinction.
to separate them that much.
Yeah. But if anyone could tell, it would be Data.
Yeah.
If anyone could detect the difference. So it seems to me like either the Federation and Starfleet have really shit scanning, or her DNA was altered.
That's possible because they left strange biological material behind
Yeah, it
that
was
had,
manufactured.
yeah, it was manufactured, so it didn't come from her. They could have done that. They could have shaved off some skin flakes, got some dandruff, something,
Mm,
and left that behind, and therefore it would match, but they didn't. They figured they wouldn't run tests, which is true because it's not procedure. And
hmm
Data even talks to Beverly about that. He's like, did you run this test? And she says, well, it's not standard. He's like, well, run it. And then they do and find that there are discrepancies between the samples and
Yeah.
her DNA.
Yep. So unfortunately, they are not able to do anything else because three more Romulan warbirds are coming in. So
Yeah,
that's
and you
four Romulan warbirds and the Devorus that are now facing down the Enterprise, and Picard does the only thing he can, which is take off.
yeah, turn tail
And
and run, which he's not too happy about.
no,
And
he
Riker's the same. He almost turns around to watch right into Riker
yeah.
as they
It's
head off.
it's interesting because they leave at warp 6. They came in at
Yep.
warp 8, but they're leaving at warp
In that
6.
warp 6. So they're not going to make, they're not going to skedaddle, as
Yeah.
quickly as they came. They're just going to, okay, warp 6 will get us out of here soon enough, but we're
Yeah.
not going to make a deal out of it.
Yeah, so that part is over, and
Right.
Data finds out that, oh, the wedding's back on
Right.
because Miles and Keiko finally actually talked to each other instead of
Yep.
through someone else. And yeah, wedding's back on. And so the final scene is basically the wedding. And you had some thoughts on this, especially about
Oh,
Keiko.
yeah, it's the opening of the wedding where I don't know if Keiko's family belonged to a ninja clan, but she's hiding behind a bush. as it starts. And I don't know if this traditional Japanese wedding stuff where
It could be.
bride is hidden. And so, because that might be a cultural thing that I'm just not aware of, but this is the first time I've ever witnessed it,
Yeah.
is that Data goes over and retrieves her from hiding in this bush or behind this bush and then presents her to her spouse
Fiance.
to be,
Mm,
the groom, which is O'Brien. And then there's, of course, Picard there as captain to preside. But
yeah.
yeah, it's was weird. She's just ducked down behind this bush. It's like, are you doing some last minute gardening? What's going on here? And then she
I
comes up with this hat with all these weird decorations on it, and they have
yeah.
some, I guess light Japanese music playing in the background. The place is decorated for the occasion. You see people in their dress Starfleet uniforms, which just means a longer jacket. Still looks like they're in their sweatsuits or something.
Yeah, the thing is with her being hidden, it could be uh the whole can't see the bride before the wedding thing.
Yeah,
And so, she had to be hidden instead. She decided to be hidden by a bush instead of coming in, I guess.
yeah, it
I
could
don't
be
know.
a kind of a demure humility thing.
Hmm.
If you think of Japan being mostly a patriarchal society for longest time, that might be something cultural that's remained. It's just like having the father give the bride away, which
Hmm.
is what we get here as well. That's a very patriarchal thing that the daughter is the property of the father,
Ugh,
and therefore the father must surrender the daughter to another man for ownership. I mean,
gross.
that's pretty much what this is all about.
Yeah.
You know, the father walking the bride down and then handing her off.
Yeah. Weird. It's just weird.
Well,
All of these
more of a
rituals.
discussion for Boldly Go.
Yeah. Just weird rituals.
Mm,
But yeah, that's Data's day. He of course puts a bow on the end of it and talking about again to Commander Maddox about his experiences
mhm.
during this time. And then it ends with him coming onto the bridge again and going to do the night shift again.
Yeah,
So,
and you have just a nice bookend where Worf was on the day shift.
mhm.
Or there's probably three shifts, like
At
three
least.
8-hour shifts, you would
Hmm.
think, because that
Yep.
seems kind of standard.
Yep.
You work 8 hours and then you have, your leisure time the rest of the time.
Yep.
But yeah, Worf informs Data of everything. This person injured himself on the holodeck. We had this kind of activity. This thing's going on with the ship. It's being repaired now. And just to inform the captain of what's currently taking place so there's no surprises,
Oh,
which makes sense.
The
Yeah,
baby. The baby got born during this whole thing.
the baby did get born during that whole thing, and Picard makes a meal out of his speech about how they are on the verge of destruction, surrounded by Romulan ships, and during this tense moment between life and death, this little miracle came into the world, and welcome aboard. And then I guess he says this baby's name.
Which was adorable.
Yep.
So yeah, Data's day. That's Data's day.
That's day to day. There's a few things that we kind of skipped over, like talking to Worf about getting a wedding present. And that's when the
Mm.
dancing came up. And they're going through the replicator. And again, there's a thing going on in the background where
Hmm.
it's like, is that a little person or is that a kid? And then the kid turns around and is like, oh, it's a kid. Because I couldn't tell because their hair was like stark white. And I thought, is this some kind of alien or what's going on here? But yeah, they were replicating, I guess, a plushy bunny or something. It was like a teddy bear.
Hmm.
So I guess there's this station on the Enterprise where you can replicate pretty much anything.
Yeah, well, most replicators have a specific function.
Yeah,
Like
like
this
food.
replicator's for food and
Yeah,
drink. This replicator is for uniforms. This replicator is for tools,
right.
etc. So I'm sure that there's one that this is for the families on board. Here
Yeah, it
you
seemed
can
like a gift
program
shop.
something. Yeah, it's a gift shop replicator.
Yeah, you go in there for gifts. And
Yep.
so they're scanning through all the traditional wedding gifts like gravy boats and wine flutes and whatever else you might have, or
Yeah.
various glassware.
Hmm.
And that's when Data says that the gift should reflect the personality of the giver. which makes sense.
Yes.
It's like when we gave Blaine an Aryan CD for their wedding present
Mm-hmm.
because it was like nerdy music, and it's like, yeah, we're nerds. He's a nerd. He should
Yep.
enjoy this. It's kind of prog rock, science fiction-y, fantasy kind of stuff. Maybe
Indeed.
get a kick out of that. So, yeah, there's that bit. So yeah, another thing going on in the background that was weird. There's bits with um, Data talking about going to the neutral zone, and he says that sometimes he's thankful he's an android that he doesn't get nervous, and then you notice he looks at his fingers and they're tapping.
Mm-hmm.
So he's more nervous than he lets on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's stuff there that I don't think he's even acknowledging really, or he's just he hasn't come to terms with that he might be more human than he thinks.
Yeah.
Because yeah, he experiences apprehension, but not fear, I guess is how he puts it. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's nervously tapping his station with his fingers as they're approaching the neutral zone. There's the bit where Riker is holding court with the crew and telling jokes about, I guess, an executioner and with an axe. He's some dark joke that he's telling the his crew, and you see Data admiring how casual and conversational Riker can be, and how he engages with his crew so easily, which is something Data struggles with. So,
Yeah.
and also connecting humor to sexuality, just noticing or notating that Riker gets around,
Yeah.
and that a sense of humor is kind of a path to that. Oh, he even talks about one day maybe getting married,
Yes.
and that being married is to grow old together, is what Troy says. And he says, "Well, that's something I cannot do, is I will not grow old." We know otherwise now,
Yes.
but
Well, he's had, he's Picard data
yeah,
is leveled up from, TNG data.
right.
So, yeah.
So yeah, those are the bits that just kind of like it really is a stuffed burrito of an episode.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in here.
It's so much, so many extras, so many
Yeah.
extras, including a baby.
Yep.
And yeah, this episode has everything.
Everything. It has
So
Romulan spies.
Rom has Romulan spies, the neutral zone, a Vulcan who's really a Romulan, a kid who might or might not be actually a little person. No, it's the kid.
It has stuffies,
It has
wedding
stuffies,
gifts,
people hiding behind
ninja brides.
bushes, ninja brides. Yeah.
It's like Kill Bill.
Good times. Good times.
Yep.
So there we go. Data's day.
Data's Day. I like this episode.
I do too.
It was a good showpiece for Brent Spiner. I know he's like one of the main draws for Next Generation. He's a character that the writers like to write for because it's very much like Spock.
Mm,
You know, you can do a lot with him because he's so different and there's things to explore.
yes.
But it was a nice full episode with character moments with the rest of the crew. We get some Geordi action, gets O'Brien and Keiko for crying out loud,
Mm-hmm.
Picard, a little bit of Riker and some Geordi. It's like,
Worf.
yeah, Beverly, Troy, everybody gets some moments with
Yes.
Data, and he gets to play off them all. It's almost like an improv Herald or something,
Mm,
where you get to see Data at work, at home, and at play, all with the other characters on the Enterprise.
yep.
And then you get that nice little that lights out scene at the end where you end where you began with is the shift change. So it's a nice tight little package, all wrapped up, and yeah,
Yeah.
in the form of a letter. And so the voiceover doesn't bother because it is a letter. He's reading
Yes.
this off. So
Yeah.
the voiceover works,
Yep.
the narration.
I like
Uh,
it.
yep,
It's a good
strong
episode.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And that means we now
Oh, we'll
have to
get to
determine,
choose a new episode.
yes, we now have to determine what the next episode shall be.
What shall
So,
it be?
what shall it be? And let's see if I can get this to work right.
Yep. Oh
Hey
yeah.
Siri, give me a random number between one, shoot, I forgot to bring up the list.
Yeah, because we
So
had the finale of Strange New Worlds, so the
yeah.
number it's no longer 940. It's like
Oh no, it's not been 940. It's for some time. It
yeah,
was 954. Okay,
yep.
here we go. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 954. The answer is 813. We're back up
Ooh,
in
new
new
Trek.
Trek.
Yeah, still no TOS. It's gonna be a
No,
while before we get to TOS, I think.
I guess. 813. This is Prodigy, season 1,
Okay.
episode 3, Starstruck.
Oh, early days.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
So there we
So back to
go.
Prodigy.
Yeah, isn't that nice? I love
Yeah,
Prodigy. So there you go, folks. There's
there's
Data's
that.
Fate, and now there's Starstruck
Starstruck.
Starstruck Prodigy, season 1, episode 3. That is your homework. And Dave, do you have anything you want to tell or folks
I
about or
have a
what?
recommendation, and that is K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh my God,
It's something
yes.
we watched for movie night.
Oh
I
my God,
recommend it.
yes. So fucking
Same
good.
team that did the Spider-Verse movies,
Yes, so
same
good.
style of animation, musical, action, comedy, drama, Korean cast, even Korean lyrics in the songs. The songs are really
Hmm.
cool.
Yes,
Like the opening track, the end one's really good too. And there's some great stuff in the middle there too.
it was so much fun.
Yeah, a lot of anime overtones, even though it's computer generated. So it's got some of the chibi references and
Oh yeah, it's
that
got
kind of
everything.
stuff. So it's very entertaining. And
It's
so
so,
it's
so good.
probably doesn't need much of a recommendation because for a while it was the number one movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it and you have Netflix, I recommend you give it a go because it is touching, it's exciting, it's funny, it's fun, music's great,
Hmm.
the style is nice.
It's
So yeah,
perfection.
yeah. Brandy really liked it. I surprised her with it because on movie night she likes me to surprise her with the choices I make movie
That's
wise.
that's because I trust you.
Yeah. I mean, there's
And
been times where it's been a dud, but this one
this one was
did all
the
right.
absolute opposite of a dud.
Yep.
So good. So good. So yeah, we will be back next week. This is going to be a little bit
It's going to be
wonky
tricky.
because FanX is going to be happening.
It depends on
So,
whether we get fed up on Saturday or not, because sometimes we top off
mhm,
from FanX and we'll go home a little early on Saturday, which is the last day because they're not going to hold the con on Sunday in Utah.
yeah. Well, the
So
thing the thing is that sometimes we get to the point where we just don't even go on Saturday at all.
that's true. There's been occasions where we just decided, nah, our feet
Hmm.
are tired. We've got the con crud. Let's just stay home. There's
Yep.
nothing there. There's no panels or anything. We already spent our wad, so to speak, at the vendor tables.
Yep.
Which
Yep.
I'm like wondering how much I'll end up spending or not. I shouldn't worry about it
No, you
because
shouldn't.
usually we set aside money for this event. We know it's coming, so
Yeah, which I have already done.
yep. So I shouldn't worry too much about it because there's always something like role playing or art wise or clothing wise, something, journals,
Yeah.
who knows what,
Yep.
minifigs, collectibles,
So,
comics, etc.
yeah. Basically, there will be an episode next week, but we're not sure on what day. So,
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to, when we're going to even watch this episode to talk about it too. That's going to be a trick. We don't have to worry about Bold to Go because that wrapped up. So at least
yeah.
there's that. We don't have double recordings of episodes.
And we don't have Unready Room
Yeah.
for me because that'll be
Nope.
on hiatus till we get more new Star Trek.
So yeah, we're
So,
good to go that way, wise. So yeah, eventually we'll get around to Prodigy, and if nothing else, we'll record on maybe Sunday, but that's usually your relaxed day. So, but
that's my
I
gaming
doubt it.
day. So,
I think Saturday evening we'll get to it, and
yeah.
maybe we can uh, cover a little bit of the Van X action, as there will be Star Trek people there.
Yep. Not enough, but
Not
some.
enough, but yeah, it's not anything like Star Trek Las Vegas, but we do what we can
Yeah.
without having to travel and stay at a hotel for a week, which is a lot to ask of us
It's
budget
too
wise.
much. It's too much money just to get there and back.
Yeah.
And then you have to have lodging and food, and how anyone even has spending money after all of that, I don't know. But
And FanX has a lot to offer because it's such an all-around general convention, like
yeah,
fan exposition. So yeah, we get a little bit of everything panel-wise, etc. The
yeah,
way they did panels this year is weird, so don't expect a whole lot from the panels, but we'll see.
yeah. Anyway, all right then.
Anyway,
Well, that is it for this episode of Shield Modulation.
yep.
So, be good to yourself and be good to others. Live long and prosper,
Live long
and
and prosperity.
that too. And
And
we'll,
don't hide behind bushes during weddings, or
yeah,
do.
that's
I don't
weird.
know.
That's just
I might
weird.
have to
Don't do
look
it.
that up to see if it's a thing, because that was really weird.
Yep. So anyway, we will see you, hopefully, not see you. We will talk to you within the next week somehow.
Yep.
Just wait for it. Keep your eyes open.
Indeed.
Okay, folks. Bye.
Bye.
Skala.